Long before European colonial empires carved Africa into borders, long before the rise of medieval kingdoms across Europe, a powerful African civilization dominated trade, engineering, and religion in the Horn of Africa. It was an empire so influential that it stood shoulder to shoulder with the mighty Roman Empire and rivaled the military and economic strength of the Sasanian Empire. This was the Kingdom of Aksum, a forgotten superpower that helped shape global history. Rising from the fertile highlands of what is now modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea, Aksum began as a small regional kingdom around the 1st century CE. But geography gave Aksum something extraordinary. Positioned between Africa, Arabia, and the Mediterranean world, it became the gateway between continents. And from this gateway, an empire would rise. Aksum's greatest weapon was not its army, it was commerce. From its bustling Red Sea port city of Adulis, massive trading fleets sailed across the Indian Ocean and Mediterranean Sea. Aksumite merchants traded gold from African mines, ivory and exotic animal products, spices and incense, textiles and precious stones. These trade routes connected Aksum to India, Arabia, Persia, and Rome. Coins minted by Aksum have been discovered thousands of miles away, proof of an economy powerful enough to influence 3 continents. But Aksum was not built on trade alone. The empire became famous for its extraordinary engineering achievements, especially its towering stone obelisks. Massive granite monuments carved from single pieces of rock rose high into the sky. Some weighed hundreds of tons and stood taller than modern buildings. These structures were not random monuments. They marked royal tombs, spiritual beliefs, and technological mastery. Even today, historians and engineers struggle to explain how such massive structures were transported and erected without modern machinery. In the 4th century CE, Aksum would transform global religious history forever. Under the rule of King Azana, the empire made a decision that would echo across centuries. Aksum officially adopted Christianity, becoming one of the first nations in world history to declare Christianity as a state religion. This transformation occurred centuries before Christianity spread across most of Europe. Ancient temples were replaced by churches. Royal inscriptions began referencing biblical faith. Coins once engraved with pagan symbols were replaced with crosses. Religion reshaped the empire's identity, turning Aksum into a spiritual beacon across Africa and the Middle East. Aksum was not only a trading and religious powerhouse. Its armies controlled vital trade routes and even launched military campaigns across the Red Sea into southern Arabia. For centuries, Aksum protected its trade dominance against rival empires and secured its position as one of the 4 great powers of the ancient world. By the 7th century, global trade routes began shifting. Climate changes affected agriculture, and new regional powers emerged. Gradually, Aksum's influence faded, leaving behind towering ruins, sacred traditions, and unanswered mysteries. Though the empire fell, its religious and cultural influence survived. Christian traditions established during Aksum's golden age remain deeply rooted in Ethiopian and Eritrean culture today. Ancient churches carved into mountains and manuscripts preserved for centuries still carry echoes of Aksum's spiritual revolution. The Kingdom of Aksum proved that Africa was not isolated from global history. It was shaping it. Through trade, through engineering, through faith, Aksum stood as one of humanity's great civilizations, a forgotten empire that once connected the world.